Hello and welcome to another rather chilly late December day here in Nova Scotia, and welcome to my channel, The Optimistic Gardener. My name is Steve Farley. Well, I'm calling it greenhouse done. Yes, I know I haven't done the other side raised bed yet, but from all intensive purposes, from a design perspective, I think it's done. The things I wanted to accomplish to show you guys out in YouTube land how to build a greenhouse with pallets, I think I've done. Done all the outside, I've done all the inside. So what I thought I'd do today is show you what I did recently to the inside, the shelving, etc. Fitted it all out, and then I thought I'd do a bit of a review of the whole greenhouse build, just to show you what I did where, how much things cost, little tricks I used, things like that. Do a quick sweep round review of the whole greenhouse. So without further ado, let's have a look inside. Okay, so the inside. Let's start with the floor. So you guys that have seen the other videos may have remembered that what I was going to do is put down some pallets, which I have, and then put plywood over the top. But when I put the pallets down, I thought actually I quite like the look of them, and you know how it ties in with the rest of the actual look of the greenhouse, being mostly pallets. So I just put in one long pallet I had that had big gaps in. I just put some fillers in all the way along, and then basically screwed them in to the sides. I've laid them on plastic so that they're sort of protected. This one's got a few gaps in it, and I may get annoyed later on with bits falling down, but we'll see for the moment. Yeah, and I like the overall look. It's nice and sturdy. Looks good. Moving on to the raised beds. Obviously I've spoken a lot about the raised beds. That's just basically a load of pallet slats that I've cut off and put along one big long piece of wood on the other side. Well, it's covered now, but I like the look of that. And we filled that with manure and seaweed and stuff, and that's going to compost down. Then the sides, these were all the cast-offs of the cedar siding that I sort of cut down to use on the outside, and I thought instead of having the plywood I'd have the cedar siding now, and I'm really pleased with that. That looks good as well. Look at me, everything looks good to me, but you know, I generally think that looks good, and you know, I was going to chuck those away, so why not use them? So that's all the way around, so that's good. I've got this sort of bit of a bench thing here, bit of a shelf, but underneath I'm going to use that to put a couple of bags of, oh that's my fork falling down, a couple of bags of compost. They can always be stored in there, so that's a good little place there. And then moving around again, like I said before, these are pallets. These are one pallet cut in half, screwed in to the uprights, and this is just a bit of a cut off pallet slats screwed in. Excuse me, it's a bit windy, my door's going left and right here. And underneath, these are just basically bits of cut off plywood fixed in with all bits and bobs of wood that I had lying about, trying to keep the cost down as much as possible. So I've got a nice set of shelves there and a set of shelves at the back, and I've obviously started populating it with the real equipment that's going to be used in here. At the bottom there I've just fixed in plywood along there, fixed in plywood. I ran out of batteries on my saws yesterday, so I didn't finish this bit off, but just ignore that. So yeah, there's more space there to use and a bit more insulation. So yeah, I'm genuinely pleased. Look, it's not IKEA shelving, but seeing as it's all free, I'm very, very pleased with the inside. And just turning round on the outside, there's the view from this side. So very good, very good, very pleased with that, as I keep saying. But it's turned out really well. So there we go, there's the inside. She's a beauty. Okay, so that's the inside done. Let's have that review and see what's what in the greenhouse build. So first up, as you can see, I laid the pallets out for fit, put the corners together, made sure it was all generally in the right place, and then I screwed the corners together. Now there's lots of different ways for putting those corners together depending on what sort of pallet you've got, whether you're screwing them together with long screws or using some little blocks of wood, etc. That'll be depending on your local conditions. But basically you want to put the corners together and then generally just build the sides up along, connecting each one together until you've got a nice frame the size that you want. And then what I did is put the polythene round, as you can see there, put the polythene round to make them a bit more weatherproof underneath. And that's what I was going to do. That was the limit of what I was going to do for the weatherproofing, other than this stuff here. But someone on Facebook, thank you very much, I can't remember who it was, mentioned about putting some timber underneath, some treated timber. So I thought, well, I'm going through all the effort of building this, great big greenhouse, I might as well actually go that final little way. So what I did was I've laid 2x6 treated timber underneath all the sides, and then screwed the actual pallets to that 2x6 timber all the way, so that sort of gave a bit of rigidity to the pallets all the way along the bottom side, and then also raised them off the ground. And then I got some 2x8, 12-foot 2x8s, and screwed them in to the top, as you can see here, all the way along, and they're all the way around the four sides, except for obviously where the door is. And then that gave it real good rigidity to the whole frame. So top and bottom I've got full lengths of wood screwed down, and it gives it a nice solid structure. And then I also, with this 2x8, I had it hanging over to make a lip, which I would eventually fix these battens underneath that are holding in the actual polythene. But we'll come to that in a little while. So after I put it all together, I fixed in plywood all the way around the outsides of the pallets. Now you don't have to do that. Fortunately I have access to free plywood, and that allowed me to do that, so that gave me a bit more rigidity, something better to fix my cedar siding to, and a bit more insulation in the bottom half as well, so that was good. And then I put polythene again just on the outside lower half, below, just underneath the cedar siding here, all the way round. And that's because I'm going to have a raised bed here, and obviously I've got the raised beds on the back, on the other side there. This will provide a bit more weatherproofing protection for this plywood against the earth and the moisture that's going to be in there. And after I did that, I put in this cedar siding. Now again, you don't have to do that, but I thought just to go that little bit extra way, and this only actually all in all cost me about $75 for the cedar siding. Go that extra way, turn this greenhouse from being, a functional but ugly sort of fixture in my garden to actually a nice architectural element of the garden now, because of the siding's really sort of made it stand out. Well, I think it has anyway. So that is good. So I've fixed the cedar siding all the way around just below the soil line, and then that ties itself all the way around the greenhouse, so that's good. So then I also, as you can see, screwed in, cut out holes all the way along this top piece of 2x8 and on the other side, that allowed me to put this electrical conduit, fix it in, and then screw the electrical conduit into the wood, so that I've got this nice hoop, or half hoop as we say. So let's go and have a look at the actual framing that helps to provide support to the polythene and the hoops. So the frame itself, what I basically did was I've got two 2x4s, screwed them into the sides of the greenhouse, and then put a T across the top, and then on the other side, obviously behind you, we've got the door frame, and I've laid these 2x4s all the way along, and these will provide the extra support for these electrical conduit, and the electrical conduit is 1/2 inch electrical, and this is a bit more rigid than the actual the white stuff, the plumbing conduit. It's a bit more rigid, so that's good, and it's also has some more protection against the sun than that white stuff. It actually says on there, so that's good. And then I built a bit of a frame around the back, which I need to give that a bit more support on the back side, and also where I've got the folds. I haven't done the support of the back on this one yet. Where I've got this fold here on the outside, I'm going to put a support there and one on the outside and screw them together, and that'll prevent it flapping around and stuff. So that is basically the frame. Let's turn this round so you can just have a look at the door. So the door frame is just really a normal 2x4 all the way around, screwed into the sides, into the top there, and the door was a door that was given to me. So you know, you can make a door out of the plastic, or you can, you know, get a door free from someone, or whatever you want to do. It's a basic door. It's not that hard. Yeah, so there's the door frame there, and the beams coming across, and they're sitting on top of the actual door frame, and it's all pretty rigid. The plastic is 6mm plastic. I bought it off Amazon. It says greenhouse plastic, you know, and it's protection against wear from the sun, etc. This cost me about 130 Canadian dollars. Not sure what that is in my old money, or your old money if you're in America or Australia or wherever. But that's my biggest expense, was the 6mm plastic. But you know, it's worth it rather than getting cheaper vapor barrier or anything like that, because it's going to last that little bit longer, I think. Let's have a look how I fixed the plastic in. What I did was I basically laid the whole plastic over the whole hoops of the greenhouse, and then I had these 2x2 battens that I basically had at the end of the piece of plastic, and I just rolled the battens and the plastic up. It was underneath this ledge that I'd formed by having the lip, and then screwed the battens underneath. Now you can go for the more expensive wiggle wire, etc. There's lots of different ways of doing it, but this was cheap. Didn't cost. The wiggle wire I think was going to be another $100 or so, and I just thought this was just an easy way to do it. And then I did that at the other side, pulled it tighter, and at the back I had folds, but again I just rolled it all the way up, The front was a bit more tricky because of the door, etc. But you know, with a few cuts here and there, as you saw in the video that I did on that particular bit of the work, you get there in the end. It's not particularly difficult. So that was it. Pulled that nice and tight, screwed them in, job's a good one. Right, so the raised beds on the sides and what will be along 3 sides of the greenhouse. It's basically, again, pallets. These are cut pallets, and they're about 22 inches high. Now there's no real rhyme or reason why I've cut them at 22 inches high, other than the fact that I think it was easier at the time to make the cuts. So I cut them at 22 inches, and then I basically fixed each pallet to the next one with screws, and then I used this nice bit of, originally I had one bit of decking left, and I thought, yeah, I like the look of that, so I've used this 5x1 treated decking as the top horizontal here, and that's again provided a bit of rigidity all the way along. And underneath, instead of a continuous piece of treated wood, I've just got bits of treated wood just to raise this raised bed off the ground, so that it provides it a bit of protection. And then I put the cedar siding again all the way around. Now there's 4 real reasons why I've actually put this raised bed. You know, most greenhouses don't have a raised bed on the side, but there's 4 reasons for doing that. The first one was I was struggling with how am I going to make sure this greenhouse stays steady in high winds, etc. I could use stakes, etc., but that's a right malarkey here with the rocky ground. So what I thought was, if I build raised beds all the way around the outside, you know, fill them with earth, that's going to provide a nice, heavy, sturdy frame to keep the whole greenhouse steady in even the sort of highest winds. So that's number 1. Number 2, obviously, I can got a bit more growing room now. In fact, quite a, you know, a nice big raised bed around 3 sides to grow some extra plants. Number 3 was, once this is filled up with earth, it's going to provide a nice bit of insulation for the inside of the greenhouse, and especially on the side where I've got the other raised bed, it's going to provide that little bit extra insulation, which I think will allow the earth a little bit longer on that inside raised bed before it actually freezes up and, you know, becomes unusable in the winter. So that's my reasoning. Oh, and number 4, it looks good. So there we go, greenhouse done. Or as done as I think it needs to be for videoing purposes, and I, you know, don't want to bore you anymore with my greenhouse antics. Not till the spring anyway. About $500, I think. The most expensive bit, like I said, was the 6mm plastic. I'm lucky enough to be able to get the pallets for free, and all that plywood that I've used, I got that all for free. The cedar siding was literally about $75 for all of that cedar siding. It was the pretty cheap stuff, but it will do the job and it looks good as well. Obviously the frame, but cost a bit of money with the 2x4s and the 2x8s that I've used along the sides here. These are the, you know, pretty expensive bits. But really, $500 for a greenhouse, that's pretty solid, and all the gear inside, I think I'm happy with that. I think this is going to last me a good amount of time, and it's going to allow me to do so much more in the garden so much earlier and so much later. So I'm really pleased. Any questions you guys have on any part of this greenhouse, please do not be afraid to ask me. Just put it in the comments on YouTube and I'll be right back to you. And you know, if any of you guys feel that you want to make this similar greenhouse, I want to inspire people to do so much more in the garden, and to think that they can do things. I'm no special carpenter or anything like that. You know, I like building things, but anybody can do this. You need a saw, a hammer. It's nice to have an electric drill, an electric saw, but at the end of the day, you can do this if you really want to. It's not that difficult. So if you like this video or my other videos, don't forget to subscribe and click like on the YouTube channel. Got to say that, it's marketing purposes. I've really enjoyed doing this, and I've really enjoyed sharing the videos and the posts on the different social media platforms, and I love all the questions and the comments, and I'm humbled by all the comments that people have made on Facebook. Was amazing. And you know, I'm doing a shed next. I've got to save up enough pallets for a shed, so that's my next big project, but that won't be for a few months. But I'm looking forward to populating this with seeds and plants and all sorts of, I think I'm going to be doing chilies, etc., and tomatoes in here, but we'll see. I haven't really sort of thought about that. I just wanted to build a greenhouse really. Anyway, after all that rambling, any more questions, don't forget to put it in the comments sections. And I think greenhouse done, job's a good one.